Natural stuff isn't better either. Natural stuff is chemicals too, you guys. Essential oils are chemicals too. People react to those too. In fact, I can't use most products with essential oils in them because my skin totally reacts and I get a rash. I have a histamine response. So it's not just that natural's better. It's like, what are we putting into our system that is aggravating our system? And that's going to be different for everybody. There's temperature and physical triggers. This is where it gets really fun. You go to the gym, you have a great workout, you get back in your car, you're covered in hives. That's not fun, right? Hot exposure, cold exposure. People get hives and get super itchy when they jump into cold plunges. I know that's true for me. I have a really difficult time. Vibration. Any of you ever have a vibration gun used on you? And it's massaging, like the massage type guns, and it's massaging you. And then the next thing you know, all of a sudden you're super itchy. There's this massager called the G5 that we use in chiropractics. And it's this huge, it's like an engine almost, and you put it on people and it's supercharged vibration, makes me itch like crazy when it's done to me. So all kinds of things. Medications or supplements. I think we talked about some of those. I'll add a few more here. NSAIDs, of course, opioids, muscle relaxers, contrast dye. Let's talk about contrast dye for a minute. This is the dye they put in your veins so that they can see things on images. So now it's in your veins and you're having an allergic reaction to it. That sucks. It's happened to me. It sucks. It really sucked. Some antibiotics can cause this, like vancomycin, for example, can cause red man syndrome. That red is histamine. If you write on yourself like this on your skin with your fingernail, it's called geographic. If it puffs up, that's a histamine response. If you are one of those people that gets like the prickly red kind of on you, I get it on my chest, that's a histamine response. And then it gets more fun. This is when we start to get into MCAS. Mast cells can auto-activate. Great, right? So they can auto-activate themselves, and they can they don't auto-activate themselves. They trigger and activate mast cells nearby. So they can set off their own cascade, if you will. It's their own chemical chain reaction. Good times. So you can see there's a lot going on here, and it is contingent upon you finding somebody who you can work with, who can help you get to the bottom of this. And this is not a simple, let's run a gut test and there, voila. This takes a lot of time. It often takes finances that not everybody has, I understand. I don't have a simple answer for you. My approach is to avoid high histamine foods, which I'm about to give you a list of, and to treat the gut first. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that, although I can't go into detail because it's different for everybody, but we'll get to that in a second. So first off, just quick list, fermented and aged foods. We've got aged cheeses like Parmesan, Gouda, blue cheese. I love Parmesan so much. I could eat Parmesan straight for days. Yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, tempeh, soy sauce, tamari, vinegar, especially balsamic, and wine vinegars. Literally just listed off my entire favorite foods in the world. Aged or cured meats, second favorite. Salami, pepperoni, prosciutto, smoked or canned fish like sardines, mackerel, anchovies, bacon, ham, deli meats. Deli meats are super high in histamine. Oh, I know, right? This is such a bummer. Alcohol, I said, the big culprits are red wine and champagne and beer. None of those love me the way that I love them. Seafood, especially if it's not super fresh. I won't give you the list because I'm not a big seafood fan, but you can look it up. Certain fruits and veggies, and then leftovers. Again, anything leftover is probably not my BFF. So here's some histamine liberators. Remember, they don't contain histamine themselves, but they do get your mast cells to activate and release it. So there's citrus fruits. I know, it's sad. Citrus fruits, strawberries, tomatoes, pineapple, bananas, papaya, chocolate. Yes, dark chocolate, my favorite food group. Shellfish is also high in histamine, and it's a histamine liberator. Alcohol, again. Egg whites. I don't really like egg whites, you guys. You've heard me talk about how I think egg whites are like poser eggs. I'm all for the yolk. Food dyes and additives. This is one of the reasons why we want to get them out of our food, or just avoid. We can fight all day about food dyes and additives in food. I'm going to go off on my Maha rant again. I don't really care about any of that stuff. Just avoid it. Just don't put it in front of your kids. Don't buy it. Don't bring it home. Just don't do it. Like, it's not that hard. I was totally poor, in bankruptcy, should have been on food stamps, broke. as a single mom, and I still was able to feed my child effectively without bringing home any food dyes or additives into the cupboard and into the fridge. Like, it's not that hard. It just requires you to break your addiction to your favorite junk foods so you quit justifying feeding them to your kids. If that makes you upset, I'm sorry, but that is the truth. And then certain nuts, especially walnuts, cashews, and peanuts, these are histamine liberators. All right. So what do I do? Oh, let's talk about estrogen. Let's talk about the estrogen and the reel that I made that really, really took off. Estrogen makes your mast cells more unstable. So it triggers histamine release and it blocks DAO at the same time. That's problematic, right? And it increases histamine receptor sensitivity. So it's a triad of problems. And this might be the very reason why you feel terrible. If you're one of the people who takes estrogen replacement therapy and you cannot tolerate it, you very well may have a histamine issue. Again, this is education. I am not your doctor. I am not telling you how to treat anything, but I'm telling you, most of the patients who didn't tolerate estrogen well, or who tolerated it for a minute and then stopped tolerating it well, if we get to the root of it and we start to deal with the histamine to some degree, we usually can make the estrogen replacement therapy more tolerable. So don't just up and quit your estrogen, please.